right, it is 6:45, well, 6:46, and we are here at the Rosewood for our regular March session. Councilman Cooley, would you go ahead and open us up in a word of prayer?
Lord, just thank you for a beautiful night, and thank you for everything you do for us, Lord. Let us have a good evening here, and again, thank you for all you do for us. Keep us safe, and let us have a good evening and a good week. Just now pray, amen. Amen. Amen.
All right, everybody. So we'll move right into the approval of minutes. Do I have a motion for the February 9th regular session minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Councilman Massey, and a second? Second. All right. Councilman Whitaker. All right. Any discussion on those minutes?
So did everybody get the update?
Mm-hmm.
So with the executive session.
Correct. Yes, there was a change made. A previous council packet went out without the executive session decision, and that was the intergovernmental agreement dispatch of $48,000 that was agreed upon after we exited executive session.
If we exit executive session without doing anything, does it have to show that we did nothing? On the minutes?
It would just say no action was taken.
That's why it will have something to define the end of.
Well, technically, I guess you don't have to, but
you don't have to.
It's cleaner. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Any other questions on those minutes? All in favor? Okay. All right. Moving on to the March 3rd work session minutes. These are going to be kind of brief because they are work session minutes. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes? Councilman Cooley. And a second? Councilman Humphrey. Any discussion? This was all the committees and commissions. Those are going to be on the May work session again. So just giving everybody about 2 months to kind of do some research. And then we'll go ahead and bring them back up in the May work session and then on the agenda the following month for any sort of votes.
Clarification, but you did send that to the planning.
We did today. All right. Any other questions? All right. All in favor? Okay. All right. Moving into new business, first readings and resolutions. We don't have anything this month. So old business, this was the second reading of the NAICS Code 6. Do I have a motion to, this is our second reading, to do I have a motion to open up discussion?
I'll make a motion on the second.
Okay. Councilman Humphreys. And a second.
I'll second.
Councilman Massey. Any discussion? And this was updated. We went back. There was some discussion when this came up for first reading. Some kind of back and forth between Appendix A and Attachment A. And that has been resolved on the ordinance. So everything should line up perfectly now. Next up, we have second reading for the update to Article 2, Offenses Against the Peace. Do I have, hang on, sorry, I'm still flipping here. Where?
It should be after attachment A.
I missed the page.
It's like page 9. Oh, you're not looking online, sorry.
No, I'm, this is the attachment, so I'm missing the order.
Yeah, there's no ordinance. I got a copy. I can look.
You, oh,
It's just,
gotcha. Okay. Okay. Do I have a motion to open discussion on the update to Article 2, Offenses Against the Peace? Councilwoman Cantley? And a second? Cooley? Any discussion? I know this went kind of back and forth quite a bit. We had discussed possibly 9 p.m. We had also discussed changing this based on if we were on Eastern Standard Daylight Savings Time, all of that. There was actually quite a lot of discussion on this, and I think we've had so much discussion, we're kind of at the point where we need to either decide to table it for a very long time or decide to change it. It's kind of gone back and forth between work sessions and regular sessions, and we need to just, I think, finalize it.
We did like big hits in last week, core commercial. We incorporate any of that in this.
No, we're not going to split it out at this time.
And we're going to vote to change it
To 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
7 a.m.
7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Residential.
Is that there's a time change or is that a permanent thing?
Permanent.
I don't think we need to go back and forth between daylight savings time.
I think it's
We talked about it, it says it's too much.
Yeah.
so 9 to 7 in residential is not music. Music is 10 to 8.
It's
So,
used 9 a.m. here on the second page. Well, they got listed on this one. I got the yelling, shouting, loud conversation, whistling, singing, and all of excessive noise of the background and amplified will not be allowed between 9 p.m. and 8 a.m.
but A on the page before says 10 to 8.
Yeah, for music.
Yeah, right. So music is 10 to 8 on the page
And so
before.
I think the one that's in question is more or less the B. It's already 9 to 7 here. Right? So this says lawn care, tree care, shop, carpet, and this is 9 p.m. to 7. 8. So
That's kind of big in the sentence. It's just 2 people, 4 hours of each other. It's like, right.
Not there, changes.
And the same rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we almost need, I was.
I was actually considering sending it to planning commission.
Can't, because this is not a city ordinance.
Right.
I prefer.
Actually, you can send just about anything you want to the planning commission, but it doesn't have to be a zoning thing. If you want to, now their expertise, of course, is going to be on your zoning ordinance. That's going to be what you're best familiar with. But they can always, they're purely advisory, so they can always send advice to you.
So just where I came up with that, I didn't make it. I was like, oh, I almost made it. But I sent something to Jennifer. I thought this was in the zoning ordinances. I think they agreed. Put it on the public hearing. But it's not. This is not the zoning ordinance. The fencing is. So I got confused between those two. And, but I guess if we send it back to them and get at least information from them.
I mean, they said clean up the house and make it more useful.
Yeah, and I think of this other, there's a question about this also, is that noise measuring 90 decibels or more that can be heard at a distance over 100 feet. So 90 decibels or more at the source, or is it 90 decibels or more at 100 feet? So which one is it? Because how would you measure at the source without trespassing on somebody's property? So at 100 feet, 90 decibels is wicked loud. But I'm not so sure that's what people are complaining about. I think they're complaining about any noise at 100 feet. And the reality is it says in the same 90 decibels. I don't know. I don't know if that's right.
Are we having any major complaints besides certain issues? Is the entire city having any issues about the time zone, the time change, and all that? It's just a certain. I mean, I just hate to change the time for.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's everything's spelled out pretty good to me. When you got music, which is 10 to 8. To me, that's I'd probably opposite. I'd probably go up. I'd probably go from 11 to 8. That's just me. And then you're lawn care, tree care, that's already 9. I wouldn't change it. I don't know what you would change. Unless you change like the whole thing to just be at one time, right? But then again, I don't know if I would. It would be 10 to 7 miles. You just have to. It's just flat for everything. 10 to 7.
I think for me, it's suitable hour, and I'm going to use the daylight savings time as my example for that. I don't think we could flop back and forth. I think 9 is more reasonable because when you get to 11 o'clock and during school night for parents with children, you kind of get a little, past 9 is kind of getting a little bit, me, I'll probably break the schedule. I think it comes back to how excessive you get with what you do, so to speak. But I think 9 is more of a standing back on the quick fellow schedule out there. For me, the job we're going to run the group of size.
How long has the ordinance been from 10 to 8?
I guess if we had just complaints, it'd be one thing. But
From my understanding, it's more lawn care equipment, but that is within the
that's already not
I
set.
didn't know that's covered.
Now, you want to change that to 8 instead?
I'm going to go back to a situation happened, not with me, but we actually had a situation between a couple of neighbors. They remember this across the street there, not too long ago, that kind of created a situation similar to that. It was 9:30, 10 o'clock, and they were out. And it wasn't lawn care equipment, some other things. And I do understand that. And like I said, I'll go along with the group said, but I think that 9 is a reasonable industry standard. We start with other municipalities. It's kind of what everybody's across the board is utilizing. Ours is kind of, and some of these ordinances we got, it's in place quite a while, and we may not have a lot of things, but we need to kind of try to do things that make sense and sometimes compromise and find a middle ground. It's a good thing for me.
Well, let me ask you a question. Where are we changing it? Because it's already.
You're basically changing if I'm reading it right, in the residential areas, operational lawn care equipment goes from 10 to 9.
No, it's not.
9 is okay. But it was 10, right?
That's what I was thinking. It's already.
I was thinking this is. Where'd you get the 10 from last week? If you don't mind me asking.
I think he was thinking about the music.
Everybody was talking about the amplified noises.
Okay.
They were not completely in front of us.
So are you saying that we're not changing anything, so there's nothing to do?
No, the original ordinance is fairly limited. And my goal with this ordinance was to give the police the tools to be able to address complaints. So let me address 2 things. One, the original ordinance, it's based on amplification. So it's hard to say that if you're using a weed eater, you're not amplifying that. I mean, you're creating the noise directly. So one thing is to add in a way for the police to address those things that are not someone playing loud music over an amplification or using a bullhorn. To address your question about this is under excessive noise, the meaning or the definition of that, I put 4 tools that the police officers can use to determine what is excessive noise, because, you could, in a purely technical sense, you could say excessive noise is in the ear of the beholder. So the decibel question I put in there, that's just if the police officers want to use a decibel meter, those are kind of the rules for that. But these are all ors, so any of those four things, unreasonably loud or raucous noise, noise that is plainly audible and which is of a volume, nature, intensity, location, and time that a reasonable person would find it interferes with the enjoyment of their personal property. Any noise produced at such time or such manner as to otherwise violate this section, because there's specific sections on lawn care, fireworks, all those things. And then the final thing was the decibels. So the police aren't tied into any one thing, because, I don't know that they have decibel meters, but that would be another expense. That might not be something that they can afford right this moment, but might come in the later budget. But I want to give them tools. And I didn't want them to be limited to things that are amplified. Now, there are a few things that are amplified that would fall within this, but they don't have to be amplified in order to violate the ordinance. So that's kind of where I was going with that, to give the police the tools that they need to address all different kinds of noises. And it's not limited to just the listed noises. Now, the time periods, that's strictly up to y'all to decide, because y'all live here and you know what might be reasonable. So I just put some sort of general times in there based on other ordinances, and I'm not tied to them, so don't think you're going to hurt my feelings. We all come up with what works for y'all. But that's basically why it's set out in four different ways that they can determine whether the ordinance is violated.
So in the long-term things, the only thing we would technically have to change is the time span that you're allowed to use lawn equipment at night. We could leave the overall ordinance at 10.
Yeah, because
and then just change your ordinance so your lawn care equipment to an earlier time of over with, so that they're not running that equipment.
That's up to y'all.
That's what you kind of got. Right?
Yeah.
I've got it from ending at 9 p.m. and then only starting.
Okay, so we can change it to, so we can change that to an earlier day or an earlier time.
For it to cut off, like if you want to cut it off at 7 a.m. Or if you want to, I put 7 a.m. because it's so hot in the summer that a lot of people will want to work on their lawns early. Not me, but other people that have better sense of me. So, but that's why that's that. And then the other times are just basically your 9 to 8 or 9 to 10, depending on the type of noise. Those are up for grabs if y'all don't like those.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
In this section 35-79, in section B, it says personal or commercial music or sound amplification or reproduction equipment. Define that for me. What is reproduction?
I'm going to take the tip on that because I didn't like that. It may be intended so it's not actual live bands, it's a DJ or something. I don't know.
CD player.
And that's why, all ordinances, until the police try them out, there's going to be glitches where I don't know if the chief knows what that means either. So.
Probably not. Whoever wrote it.
I'm not going to bash some previous attorney who didn't make a copy, but from some other attorneys.
Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to sunset. That's just match lawn care with construction.
You could.
Just do that from 7 a.m. to sunset.
Sunsets.
Yeah.
But then your time change is going to be right. So we just do. We
I
can
don't think we
do
should go with the time change because we don't want to go back to it. Okay, are we on the what?
It's understanding the deed here.
Yeah.
Well, so 7 to sunset.
Sunset's fixed.
Yeah.
It's fixed no matter what.
There's no problem.
Don't worry about time change.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
There's only about a 3-hour difference.
It's not
on the
What's the singers
you add lawn care with the construction and just have lawn care the same thing for
all the way
construction.
across the board?
Saturday, Sunday, and Sunday.
You go to the
Right until sunset.
construction, Monday,
Better have it all.
and then on Sundays, it's, and then we show
Which page are you on?
Page 4.
Thank you.
sorry.
That's a pretty fair.
I mean,
The sunset.
yeah.
That kind of helps. The issue
Sunset,
we
once
got.
it's dark, I mean, it's, you better have it all.
At least as far as lawn
So,
care. Yeah, concerned, you don't want to use lawn care in the winter anyway, so.
I mean,
John, never got a real turn.
why not the whole week, 7 to sunset? I mean,
Yeah.
Sunday,
Yeah.
people are gonna do whatever they're gonna do anyway.
Right.
Whether it's,
That was right, we still have blue ones.
yeah, that's a,
Yeah.
Listen, I agree. I don't necessarily disagree on the whole Sunday thing. I'm just saying, if we're going to change anything, because I like it the way it is. If I'm going to change anything, I would say just add lawn care
To the construction side.
I'll agree with that if we can change it noon on a Sunday to every day, 7 to sunset.
Monday through Sunday.
Yeah, because I can go to church on Saturday if I like and
And
go
people,
do
people
work.
are doing stuff.
Could go to church on Sunday.
We got hardcore people that don't do anything else.
There's some people that don't.
Right. So, I'm not opposed to the sunset. I think that might be a way to. It's a good
And then, and you'll have to.
7 days.
Sunset, like John said, sunset is not changing. It doesn't matter what time zone you're in. The sun goes down, but I think we vote on it, change the sunset.
Lawn care rather than construction, yeah.
If it was, more
So section,
input,
so 35/78, section 2B, would then add
Section 79, about 70. Well, no,
Our numbers don't show expenditures.
So they know. I think that's it.
Well, I got it here saying
You know what I mean? If it is.
we would have
So you're going to change these, or is it just for we just going to lawn care?
I think we're going to do all of B, right? If I'm correct. Lawn care, tree care, top, car repair, and noise creating equipment is not, it would be from 7 a.m. until sunset.
It's snoring.
You would change Sunday days for both construction and everything else. You want to change Sunday as well as for everything?
Yeah.
All of it, yeah.
Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to sunset.
Yep. For section B, so 2B.
And if it's fired up, be on sunset.
Yep.
Because I don't know many crews, whether it's lawn care crew or construction crew, is going to be on after dark. So, if it's your own personal, and
It
as long as
might.
the neighbor doesn't complain, we're fine. If you have a complaint, then guess what? Then go enforce the rules and we're done.
Well, most of the time, you're going to do it on here, it's try to get a purpose. I have seen some dead out around 5 in the morning, just to beat the summer heat.
My guys there every morning at 7 a.m.
My dog was at 123 weeks ago, and he was
I'll make a motion to amend to change
Section B.
section B from Monday to Sunday, 7 a.m. to sunset.
I think we need a second, correct?
I will say.
Hey, I'm making that.
Just tag.
All right, and all in
Did he really not want to put construction Monday through Sunday?
7 a.m. to sunset, Monday through Sunday, right?
Construction. Paid for.
You didn't want to change construction?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, we changed all of it. It's all the same. We'd be off.
Did you
So
get it?
construction.
He's saying where you amended it. He's not saying you left that part out.
He's gonna read it next month, Mary.
Yes.
He's saying you changed section B.
Are you still wanting to make sure?
I guess Article 2 here. Construction as well.
Bear with me, I'm writing this all down, so you don't miss anything.
Hey, Mo, that's perfect.
Please, sorry.
Okay, so, and you made the first motion, and who was second? Sure. Wilbur. Okay, so now, all in favor of that amendment? Aye. And then now we can pass this. Yeah, we opened it. Now we vote on the whole thing. Yes, vote on the whole thing. All in favor of the amendment, closing out the discussion? Aye. Like my tail. All right. After all of that. Next up is the city financial report. You should see all of that in your packet. At this time, the city maintains strong cash reserves and liquidity to support operations and capital needs. And remember that municipal revenues follow a cyclical pattern throughout the fiscal year, with several significant revenue sources expected later in the budget year. Those upcoming inflows include property tax collections, which we are in the middle of doing right now, municipal association tax distributions, quarterly franchise fees, which we have started receiving, as well as business license revenues, which we are also in the middle of. You should also have your council report there as well. Any questions on that before I jump into department head reports? All right, we'll have the first department head go ahead and come up. Coach Black.
I think I'm about to get rid like a chief. My first time. Nervous. Just a little update what's going on around the parks and the recreation side. Little League baseball line has been finished, which is Island Field and Waterside Field. Y'all should go to the field license. So they're very bright. So I'm sure we're going to notify the neighbors to let them know that this is going to be bright when we have games. We finished writing well, I'm still working on the grant for the county. I got some, give them some, they sent me an email. Got to get a little report back on some more things so we can finish. So we can do more still next. More still needs to be a good night as well. And also we're trying to see if we can get a tractor replace the old one that we have to do the same grant as well. I got to get a couple bit more things that Tyler Merck contacted me about. So I'm sorry, that's kind of sidetracked, but that's one thing. But when I talk about it, I'm going to get into that. So I'm getting with that, and I will be meeting. I'm supposed to be at the new person is representing our city on the board, the rec board, partial rec board for the county. He called me this morning and said he unfortunately will not be able to meet with me. He had the flu. So we're going to try to get together either later this week or next week. That's good time. So I'll shut them around and see what we got going on, what we need to improve, and some things like that. As you can see, see Rosewood Center. We have already finished painting pretty much everything. Next project for Rosewood is to do the floors and the bathroom and restrooms because the other look terrible. So we said Scott has some old materials that he had from his house when he upgraded his house. His wife said we get rid of it, so he graciously donated it to us. And we're going to go through it and see if it's tile. We're going to see if it's anything feasible. Put it on. If we don't, we're going to try to figure out another route. I don't want to spend any money, too much money to do it, but it needs to be done. Ms. Ellis contacted me today about meeting for a park. She's working with Park Grant, but she's trying to help us get new playground equipment for Freedom Park. So she contacted me today, said she had a meeting tomorrow at 3 o'clock with a new vendor or another vendor, because I think she had to get three different bids. We already contacted 2 vendors already, and she also has completed the home line portion of her section that she has to do for the city. And we asked one vendor to complete his section of it from Sunderland. The vendor that she likes from Sunderland. And I'm not sure he has yet, but that's part of the thing we got to talk about tomorrow at 3 o'clock when we meet at Freedom Park. Y'all want to go from 10 if you want to. We just can pretty much walk through and try to say what we want, what we're looking at, what we want to do, things like that. If y'all was not able to come to the reveal of the Living Dugout sign, it was revealed on 2/27, 3 o'clock. I'm sure y'all probably seen it on social media. Thanks to Donnie Burns. He's a creator of it. He pretty much, and thanks to Keith Asphalt for graciously giving us $2,500 to pay for. And they're looking to part up again, and they want to give us some more money. They just told me what kind of project I'm looking to be done. That's something I'm just not saying. I need to figure out what I want to do. I want to know how much money we can give me and stuff. That's the thing. So whatever you give me, go from that. The football stadium, we've been trying to maintain that as much as possible. We had got a couple of quotes before about trying to repave the track and things like that. It's very expensive. Seal coating and maybe another option that I'm looking into as well. Right now, Jeff, it's massive. He has a lot of red paint that I'm graciously keep on donating to us to where we can paint the rails on the state. I didn't want to do it in the cold because y'all know we paint in the cold. It's not good, so we're going to have my guys work on that as soon as possible. Try to upgrade our stadium a little bit before the season kick off heavily in a couple of weeks later. Things like that. Elementary schools over there, all the schools in our area are really working together. We are all coming together. They utilize our facilities a lot more. If y'all did not attend the function they had last week, they had over 450 kids attending. Peak families and kids and things like that. That was great. That's a good success for our kids and things like that as well. So Mrs. Baker is looking at, she has met with them. I'm trying to figure out a way we incorporate the student aspect to athletics. That way they understand that you're a student first and not all about that. So we're working on that too as well. Just trying to keep everybody on the same page and understand, help the kids out. Because at the end of the day, it's all for the kids. So it's basically. Mills Gym, we still maintain it. We put a donation box. It was basically donated from the young man that was found some items over at the snow day. And those kids that left some stuff out there. I don't know, somebody got a phone call about it. But he came to me and said, can I put some donation boxes out there? We put a label on it. And if anybody wants to leave something, just put it in the donation box. It has a lid on it. It's a 50-gallon little black tub with a yellow thing inside. So we put one over there, the playground, and we put one at Freedom Park as well. So he donated to us. It's very nice of him to think that way. And so we just ended our spring sports registrations. We had a total of 306 participants. We have a total of 306 participants. We finally got soccer kind of established a little bit. We got 2 teams, a 16 and an 18 team. We're very proud about that because that has been a challenge in this area. Especially you want to be a season soccer player. That's just common. Everybody goes there. We got a team, got T-ball, we got 40 kids signed up, which is great. I told Ms. Beck, I said, to have 40 kids signed up for T-ball, that's 10, that's great. But next year, I think. I just want to improve, keep going. And then because, when you get new coaches and come in, then like that too, that helps out a lot. So, for baseball, we got 45 participants throughout the age group. Softball, we got 19, which is a struggle. But we have improved, because last year I think we had one team, so we were able to get 2 teams, a 12U team and an 8U team. Just try to fight for the 10U team. But a lot of young ladies do not want to participate only in one sport, and that is cheer, for some reason. And what about volleyball too? They love volleyball. We got 66 participants, and we got 66 participants for volleyball. And then flag football is a big one, is 112. That is huge, and it's going to continue to be huge. Only challenge that we face with flag football is that having flag football, it takes away from the other spring sport, which is baseball. So we've been talking about the Tri-County League is to try to see if we can do flag football at the end of spring sports, so it be, right around April, May, I think, because it'll last about a month. So we can keep up that for the beginning of the summer, and that leads into, and then for a high school and middle school, it's a good thing because it leads to, we get to start getting them conditioning for that next phase of middle school football, high school football, and we can offer up 14 units, so that's a good thing about that. So we're going to try to see if we can work that out. I thought that was a good idea for us to try to figure that out. That way, now numbers can increase back in baseball. Kids who want to play baseball can play, and then kids who want to play flag too also can play, because it's 2 separate times. I think like that. So far, we ain't too much over there, just to maintain the area that we normally do. Been talking to a few people, City Hall, really just trying to see how can we fix that up. I don't like it. I don't like them on the island. They're, if y'all been over there, they look terrible. We got wild grass going in, and I'm saying, it's been a frustration around for 3 years. Me personally, I would say just knock them down, take them out. I mean, that's me personally, because at the end of the park spot. Or we can come up with another option, dig them out, find something that's low maintenance to put in it, and that way, because I think I can talk to Chief about putting rocks in me, so kids go in there, start throwing them out. I think like that. But mulch is like, you got my mulch is, it rains, it's going to be storm. So wash away, it's going to, it's just cost, just maintain something. So I'll let y'all come up with that and right there, since you don't have to do it. We had a wrestling event, it was the first time, and I know we had some issues with the parking situation that day. We used to understand that there's a lobby competition next door to the fans at the same time, so for Ace, I felt bad for him. Thanks to Mr. Brian Reed from the Public Works Department, he walked over and had a conversation with him. And I told Ace, I said, next time, just told him. I said, y'all put that, so we don't have a sign. I said, put a sign up, say, he told us, I want you to spend something, how you got to do it. I said, just get him told out, and things like that. But I'm looking to getting around some, if y'all don't know, Liberty High School was very huge in wrestling. That event was very successful for us. All we did was give them space, and we took all games. So that I think I turned in $1,200. So that's good. That's easy for us. All you had to do is space the high school ran everything. We legit just sat there and took it, which was good for us. But I'm looking to try to get that started. I talked to a rec department for Rock Hill, and they trying to start that too as well, which give us another spring sport in the winter rather than just basketball all the time. So they give us something else to do too. Big thing we got coming on in Mr. Cooley over there, we're working on the Liberty Jeep event. We got a schedule. I think we got a set date for June 20th. So we're going to work on the details, try to get all that hashed out and get everything situated, get that taken care of. I was informed by Mr. Cooley that I have to get some volunteers from the kids' lives, and I said that's great because I just had a lot of them reach out to me last week about needing some more. One volunteer and do something. And I think that'd be good for you all for our work program as well. To have our kids out there in their uniform or something showing off. And because our uniforms are nice, I believe. We got the nicest uniform in the county. I'm proud of that. sponsors come in, well, not new, but Nice Companies is one that they ever use. They did come in, and then Liberty Bell, she gave me $500. She told me to go back to that $500, so we can get it. Nice Company gave us $2,500. So with that $2,500, we gonna buy some windscreens. They call them on the back of the fields and things like that. And a nice kind of logo, things like that. And I showed you cool. I think I showed you that the market things like that. So we're gonna get that going pretty soon and get that taken care of. But let's see. We still try to maintain everything, what's in possible in our facilities. The rental of gyms and stuff like that. The stadium has not been rented, but rented out recently. But normally during football season, we get a few travel teams that contact me. One really, again, because I make sure I talk to the chief over there before we make decisions who we're going to bring in. Because we don't want no headaches. I don't want no headaches, you don't want headaches. So we kind of go through that. But normally they try to get it once a month, something like that. But nobody has reached out for this year and things like that. Rosewood still being rented, like for birthdays, parties, or pet things like that. And Randall Mills Avenue is being rented out by the travel team, and I just charge them a straight monthly fee. That way they don't have to worry about trying to pay me $25 or $30 every time they come. It's just too much of a headache for me and them both. We're on the baseball fields. We got a Top Gun Baseball Association, I believe that's what they call it. They host tournaments on the weekend. They normally affiliate with, they normally use Easy too as well. So they we get like maybe I think what 400 to 800 something like that, almost 1,000 a day. I can't remember exactly the contract, but that's just for them to use our fields, and they always look for somebody to maintain the fields on site. So that's a little side job for Tom, the guy that we got that he likes doing because he can get extra money. They don't come out of our budget. We just rent the fields out. And they just give us money for the fields. They have to pay themselves. I made that very clear. Not paying that way. And so we got that going on. I think they got 6 dates scheduled so far, and he said he has 4 days. So that'll be that. And that brings people out to the evening. Once we get that out, we can tell people that we go downtown on Common Street, eat, hit the candy shop up. I don't have a lot of kids. That's a good thing for everybody. The city gym, maybe we rent it every now and then, not too often because we got so much going on. Just keep it out. Gazebos, not too big because it's cold, but since it's starting to ramp up, get a little warm, everybody get calling about renting gazebos and things like that. So it's kind of, gazebos kind of throw me off because, in a sense, if you pop up over there and start having a birthday party, I can't do nothing about it. I mean, it needs to be realistic. So it's like, I don't tell people that, but some people actually come out and do it properly. They want to pay your fee. And I'm like, if you go over there and doing a party, I can't come over and keep you out. I mean, because it is a public park in the city. And the Valley City, y'all know that's been maintained by the Beach Lawn Services. So I'm going to reach out to them before the 28th and make sure that they get the mile extremely pretty good. Because I was going about today and I'm like, it can be a little bit better. I don't think I have anything else.
I have a question. I know you and I recently talked about it. What did we request for $50,000 on the county rec funds this year?
Oh, that was the Morrisville and the track before. This one. Morrisville Light.
When the baseball tournaments come and pay that fee, does that include the maintenance stuff? Do you have chalk lines? Yeah.
Oh, he brings all that stuff.
He brings his own chalk and his own turf.
He has to maintain all that. He has to bring it. We just have to teach exactly what I mean about
Yeah, your guys. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
that's a nice side job for the weekend.
Yeah, and I told him, I said, we're not paying for all that stuff. Like, because they come out of our budget. That's not, Turkish is not cheap.
Oh, no. The other places that was included. That's why I'm asking.
Yes, sir. And so I told him, I said, we're not doing all that.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, I'm a little stickler on that type of stuff, because that stuff costs. Yeah.
Any other questions, Coach? Thank you.
Oh, that was.
We appreciate you coming. All right, next up is our Public Works Director, Adam.
First off, I want to thank Mayor and Council and City for giving me this opportunity. I look forward to working with y'all in the future. The utility department has been pretty busy in February, Christmas morning, like everybody's seen. A couple of those were natural causes, and the majority of them was from the construction crews that was spending time. Last update that I got from them, they were making a couple big shots this week forward, and then they were going to be out of here for a few months until they come back to do side roads. So hopefully we'll get a break from that. We had 5 of those total, and that's just in the 3 weeks that I've been here. 13 sewer blockages. And on those sewer blockages, we try to, after we get the blockage unstopped, try to camera the line to see if there's any repairs that need to be made. If they are, we schedule those repairs. We do have several problem areas that consistently give us trouble, and those are the first ones on the list to have a point repair done to them. And hopefully once we get all the point repairs done, we can start a routine sewer maintenance and washing program. We'll wash line, camera, and hopefully that'll keep everything flowing. It also gives us an opportunity to see as much of the sewer line as we can to see what kind of shape it's in. Hopefully in the future, start replacing as needed. Utility department completed 58 work orders and 137 locate tickets. Majority of locate tickets was for the coroner. On the public works side, as of the end of February, all water and sewer right-of-ways have been cleared and we'll try, hopefully, springtime cut. Try to cut again in the fall. It usually is very clear and clean all year round. The brush truck hauled 23 tons of brush in February to the county and 1.5 tons of furniture brown. And I'm working on a routine schedule for that truck. I have a certain day that will pick up brush, a certain day will pick up furniture. I'm hoping to eventually have brush and furniture picked up on the correlate day that sanitation is picked up. That way everybody knows when the brush will be picked up and they can have that there. And we'll still pick brush up on a calling basis. But hopefully with this program have cut down on a lot of the callings. We also have begun patching potholes. Those have been on a calling basis as well. And we're working to have a program where we routinely not just temporarily patch, hopefully cut the bad ways out, put hot asphalt back. That's all I have.
I did say thank you. I sent Mayor Wagner a message from his constituent a week or so ago. I ran into Mr. Manley last Thursday at the stadium. He was trying to pull those trees up. He told me that Chris stopped by, the resident stopped by the house. And he was very, very impressed. And actually reached out to him, gave him information on what he was planning to do, and gave him follow-up guidelines on how he's going to contact him back. And I appreciate that. Mr. The resident stated that he's been doing the city hall for over a year now, and he feels like somebody truly cares about his concern. And I appreciate that. Thank you. Also, Alpha Drive, we made some people happy. That Mayor Wagner himself,
South Norman, same thing. You made my wife happy. It's that thing every time. I don't have to get from that line.
Those two areas are actually, I had top of the list to have, those potholes cut out and hot asphalt put back. So there could be more of a temporary, or prolonged, permanent fix.
No, thank you.
Norman is pretty rough, pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, do we have a roller, or are you using
We do have a plate, a compactor. I do have connections for asphalt roller for people, and that's an open go. Just borrow that roller, do the hot asphalt.
Sure. Do we know how much money we back charge that boring company for sewer or for water services?
We've charged them for materials so far. I think we've charged them close to $4,000 for materials right now. We've actually gotten a check, I think, for about $2,400, and we're still waiting on the other part. Because we actually didn't charge them for that.
A lot of times on the labor cutting break, their estimator, operator stay out there and they'll do it.
Yeah. It's not like they're just leaving our guys alone. Yeah. We make sure of that.
And what is the status of community staff hiring? Let's get away from CWD. Somebody.
I believe you have the resumes, correct?
Got it.
Yep.
It's,
We're doing that.
as far as I know, unless something's changed, Clearwater's out of here at the end of the month.
And then we'll be adding.
I hope we'll be adding different employees on the utility side.
We're going to start with one, and then we'll stagger it as one is needed.
I was going to ask you, have you had a chance to have a list of like things that you might need, or like stuff that you feel like that you're going to be needing next year or this year, or anything like that?
I do. The big thing that we desperately need is a mini excavator. I took a picture of the water tap we done today in the alleyway behind Converse, and it was all that back of the good sit back there and dig what it needed to dig. Also, clean up. It's hard to clean up a water main or a job site with a backhoe. So we really need a mini excavator.
Do we have anything that you could sell that we could maybe pay for that? That you don't use as much, that you don't like to need?
I've been looking into what we have and what we could possibly do with that. So there is a little room there.
Are you looking for a certain size minimum, 308, or,
I think 3 or 4 would be
3 or 4?
Yeah.
Incline. Or you're just in the standard cavity, you don't need an enclosed cavity, right?
No.
Have you ever thought about possibly, I know we got that bucket truck down there, we only use it twice a year. Is there a possibility of possibly selling that bucket truck to be able to purchase 3 or 4?
That's definitely something I thought about, and I keep going back and forth because even though we hardly use it, there's always that chance that we might need it. It's hard to get rid of something that you already had in your hand.
Right. Is there any way we could try to use like United Rentals or?
We could, and I have
just for those few times that you would need to have a raise.
I do have some connections where we can borrow them if need be.
What do you think about like the Gerald mentioned, like the little tow behind that has the bucket that goes up?
Yeah.
They're a lot cheaper, and you don't have to have insurance.
Yeah.
You think that would be something that if we did sell the bucket truck, we could maybe buy one of those, and then you could have, you don't have to worry about borrowing, you could have that here if you need it.
That would be handy if it was on, if we were always on flat surface.
that you could use the dumper dog for brush, gravel, salt. The plow, you could have detachable, reattachable, electronic plow for the front that you could take off when not in use, so where we could tree our roads, but also you could use that dumper dog for smaller repairs. If you didn't need a whole load, non-truck load of gravel, you could use a half load or 2 scoops. And that insert actually comes out as well, so that you didn't need it.
What's your, the snow plow? Absolutely. And if not, the dump dog, place the salt plow.
Right. And that's the difference is the auger,
For
correct?
those of us that don't know what a dumper dog is, can you explain it?
I can explain it if you want to explain it. It's an insert.
It's an insert that goes in the back of the pickup truck that converts it to a dump truck.
One time, I really took the Brian Rice, there was a snow plow, some trail on hold. I don't know if that's the one that's sitting out the old plant or not. But then there's an old one.
Probably is, but I think they have hookup pieces, right?
Brian, know which truck it came off.
Yeah.
It was just a snow plow.
Basically, it's a metal.
It is nice. It looked like almost went on my.
They used to be one of those trucks before they bought in town. What happened out there?
I don't know when they what that.
Fit the dumper dog in the plows and says that would come in very, plus we could tree our own roads in the winter.
Instead of having a little tractor.
Right.
That.
So you can control salt plow a little bit better than you can that three-yard road.
That makes me nervous, that tractor.
I mean, total, you're probably looking at close to maybe $6,000, $6,500. You know,
Those definitely would be handy.
and you can use it for small jobs when it's not winter time. You know, and you need to haul something off, you raise bed up without being done with it instead of having to drive that big dump truck out there for something that's
Yeah.
that's efficient.
Trying to get an idea on what, since you've been there for about a month, you kind of come up with stuff that you feel like you desperately need or don't need, or that's all I was asking.
We have some things down there that we can definitely get rid of. We've been pulling them out, taking pictures, to eventually try and go deals. But if I had to say one thing above anything, it's that yes.
That's necessity. Yeah. Makes jobs faster, quicker, easier to clean up with the scrape on the front.
We already have a road to haul, so we don't have to worry about the road.
So we're kind of operating off of, if we can fix it, fix it. If we can't, we need to go. Just trying to clean up.
Yeah, we don't do sidewalks. With the equipment that's down there, we do not operate with jet station
Equipment, I'll be honest, it's good deals. We actually transit, that's what most of us use now. I mean, what you got there, those trucks, you got 2 trucks, that old brush truck, you probably $15,000-$20,000. Like the other deals. You got the old recycling truck, I mean, that's probably $5,000-$7,000. The old Grenade down there, that you said was too big, they'll buy junk there, this is crazy.
Especially if
We're
fixing up that baseball field, it's horrible to look up the hill.
So are you opposed to sidewalks, or do you think that?
I'm not opposed. We just have to found the deals. We actually ship dozers. I said we ship. They have people come and ship them overseas to come buy them. So you have the larger audience you got, the more competition you get, which means the more equipment they get.
There was that Connex, they were supposedly putting stuff that they were going to sell. Is that still what you're kind of doing, put stuff in there to sell?
We actually pulled all that stuff out to the pictures. I'm hoping to eventually use the Connex once we redo the floor and seal it up with a store for Christmas decoration.
Yeah, I haven't mentioned that, Brian. That'd be the perfect, I feel like Christmas does inside the shop there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to any kind of auction. That's a little bigger.
I'm just trying to figure out a way we can take what we're not using, make money on it to where we can put that towards what we do need.
You'd be surprised.
Anything you have with
Appreciate that.
Maybe that's it for it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll support that 100% offer.
Welcome to the family.
My wife's looking back there, it's been 6 years.
Communication with the residents.
Thank you. All right. Next up, Chief.
the report, but I think, it's a great addition to Baltimore. So working with him since this short time has been great, just like working with Coach Black with the rec department. He had two great directors, public works directors. February 2026, 107 warnings, 96 citations. We arrested 13. They're listed below some of the high ones. Speedway, methamphetamine, criminal sexual conduct with a minor class 2, driving, public intoxication, some narcotics, domestic violence, first degree assault, battery, theft. Some of the things, the continuation from Winter Storm Gianna, where we maintain continuous communication with Pickens County Emergency Operations Center and surrounding jurisdictions due to the deteriorating weather conditions throughout the storm. The officers, including myself, assisted with the free removal from the roadways and assisted motorists. They also continuously monitored road conditions, conducted citywide patrols, and performed welfare and business checks while continuing to respond to calls. For our training on February 5th, I attended the Office of Highway Safety and Justice Program Grant Solicitation Workshop in Columbia. The workshop provided the insight into current funding priorities, application and eligibility requirements, and the best practices for submitting applications. During the week of February 9th, officers participated in training focused on emergency vehicle operations, stop sticks deployment, and scenario-based instruction. This training enhances officer safety and improves their decision-making under stress, strengthens communication and coordination with other officers, and increases overall readiness to manage high-risk situations effectively. February 26th, victim advocate Sarah Howard participating in quarterly SARS training, which is sexual assault response team training focused on recognizing and reporting child abuse and neglect. For vacancy and hiring, we're currently accepting applications for certified and uncertified officers to fill a vacancy created by Officer Shelton's departure. He's accepted a school resource officer position with another agency to hire and pay. Vacancy highlights the importance of offering competitive pay and benefits to recruit and retain qualified officers, maintain the appropriate staffing levels, and ensure the continued reliable professional service to our community. And additionally, Officer Stewart still remains on active duty military leave and is tentatively projected to return July 26th. And obviously, his position must be maintained during his absence. So we're down 2.
So you're at 6?
We're at 7.
7.
Well, we're at 6 now. We've got in the sugar tank. With 8, so we're at 7.
So now, shift like, what do you feel like you need currently, other than 2 or 4 weeks?
I'm sorry, I didn't get a question.
What do I need other than 2 employees?
2 employees.
Is this something that we can discuss in a work session like hearing as opposed to?
I'm just asking a question.
It's budget
You
season.
don't have to go into detail.
Yeah.
You know what that means? It means it's listed.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm just curious on that.
It is.
You do have part of it, right?
Do you really have stop sticks? Yes. Do you? Awesome. And no, I just wondered. I mean, it's a short area, so I don't know how much use you would have. But
We utilize them not just for our jurisdiction, but for when other jurisdictions are pursuing our city.
yeah.
We'll assist them with that to mobilize the vehicle to help them.
And we still have promo.
Yes, sir.
I think that's.
Toys with that thing.
I know. So I watch a lot on and stuff. So it's a good tool and it keeps people safe. So allows them to do things that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, he's not ready.
So I speak to you.
Ward 1, Michelle Cantley.
Yes. In February this past month, I made it a priority to start the process of assisting the owner of the old mill site on East Beatty Street in cleaning up his land. Just starting that process, Mayor Wagner notified me that the City of Liberty acquired a brownfield grant, which would allow Terracon to assess the site for free, and then connect Terracon to a partner for the EPA to begin the cleanup. So, the Beatty Street mill was actually originally one of Terracon's priority sites, but they were unable to make contact with the landowner due to email or phone notes on file. I am about to send a letter finishing cleaning up, probably tomorrow, to Chester Holdings, who's on file with the landowner of the mill, and notify him of the grant, try to set up a meeting, work through all the details. The grant does expire next year, so I'm in a rush to make contact and try to make use of the money. Also, I want to shout out Amber Elbaum and her team at Cat Garage Rescue. She brought in 13 cats from Liberty today to the vet to get fixed. So I very much appreciate her efforts to serve the city and the cat population. And finally, I really enjoyed celebrating Liberty's 150th birthday this past Saturday at the Rosewood and Community Council. Thank you to all who came out and worked to make it a fun birthday party, specifically the rec department and all the work that they did was very evident. A lot of love and care was put into it. And thank you to city staff as well. That's all. Thank you.
All right. Ward 2, Gerald Wilson.
Should you like fair with Ken while you're on the table, so I want to read the phone my eyes and all that two or three quick things. First off, thank you, Mayor Wagner, for Ms. Jean. She stopped me today at Apple Drive. I hate to be repetitive. I promise I'll tell you she said that. The HR contract, is it possible to get it posted on the website? I ran into a company, I know still wasn't done yet, but I ran into a lady at the drop-in and did ask about it, so we'll get a chance to get it done. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Brad Holtzwell, who lives in Northwest. I stopped by today to talk to him. He has graciously agreed to donate a bike for our 150-year celebration that we can use for a time of the so, naturally we have to bury it ourselves. We can do that in the next grade we'll buy. But I want to give him a quick shout out. I'll get Sierra's information, go by and talk to him, so he can kind of accommodate the size we need and several different options available. Lastly, if it's possible, I'd love to see us add the City Hall PD facility to discussion with a future work session for 2 or 3 reasons, just to kind of get it out there. But we may actually qualify for a USDA facilities grant that would help us pay for site design, construction, look at all the different options, bring back to the council to make a decision on where and what we'd be looking for and what we'd like to do going forward. But I hate to leave money on the table. Other than that, hey, there is you may mention this stuff downtown. Are you the St. Patty's Day downtown? Yeah, I don't know the day off the top of it. The 17th, they'll have a St. Patty's Day downtown. Businesses are doing that. I think it's great. I look forward to that. So anybody that's available, come down, enjoy. Mary, have a good time.
I just have a good time.
I'll bring
Too boring for that.
I'll bring a mutual friend. How's that? Thank you.
All right. Ward 3, William Cooley.
So, 2 things. I'm currently working on setting up a meeting with some business owners about possibly bringing in some restaurants with some building owners. I can sit down with them hopefully this Friday. Got pushed back this past month. Next, I talked to the mayor at the birthday event about, I don't know if you noticed, when you got your water bill this month, it came with the Waffle Fest little brochure thing. I think that'd be a good thing to do every month, like an agenda list has our events, what we've got going on in the city. That way, everyone gets it. No one can say, well, I didn't see her, I would have came, or none of that, because you see that constantly, no matter what you do on social media, no matter what you do advertising-wise. I think that's the best way to get someone's door is right in that mail that Liberty does, or the water bill at Sierra, so everyone gets one. So, other good things, a big shout out to Coach Homer and his staff at the high school and their baseball team. They put on a 2-hour free camp this weekend. It was great. Had over 30 kids show up, and they had a lot of fun. It was really good. I'm hoping to work together, do some more events this summer with him. And also, again, like Mikel said, thank you to everyone that helped set up for the 150th birthday. It was a great event. I really enjoyed it. And last but not least, I'm working with the city on hosting the Liberty's first annual Geek Show at the Rec Stadium on June the 20th. Clay Counts will be our host. There will be a DJ, a kids area, food trucks, and some vendors. And we'll have several different classes to enter. And working on some more sponsors. And if we're looking for some, so if anybody wants to sponsor, get with us. And all the money will go to the rec that's raised. That's all I got.
One question. Where's the Jeep playing happening?
The Rec Stadium, inside the stadium, yes, sir. And that's June the 20th. And I think we've got it for starting at 8:30, but it'll be most of the day on that side.
All right, Ward 4, Jeff Massey.
I've got one thing to report from my constituents about some of those things. We've got some dead end signs that are kind of faded and kind of really need to better check. If there was any way we could possibly see if we had any outlet signs that we could use to replace those. One Hackett Street. A couple of things I've been working on. We mentioned the sewer work session. I have reached out to Rewalk, and I've had discussions with the CEO of Rewalk, and I've actually got a meeting set up for April 1st at 9 a.m. with the mayor. This is just a discussion meeting, just to see what the plans are, what Liberty's goals are, just to have something in comparison. Also, on behalf of the Lane Pageant, I have picked up to try to get urgent care here in Liberty. I have spoken with Prisma and the CEO and COO of Prisma. And as soon as I get some more information from them, I did get a response back. So, working on that. Also reached out to Huey Magoo's restaurant. There's a Huey Magoo's on Wade Hampton and Taylor's. They're kind of like a Zaxby's, but they're really, really good. I've reached out with the owner of them as well, Mr. Knapp, and they have shown some interest, so we will see how that goes as well. Other than that, that is all I have.
All right, next up, Councilman at Large John Humphrey.
So, just about everything's been discussed. But I did want to reiterate back on a few of these. The baseball event that was held at the high school for the community, that was awesome. It was a free event for first through sixth graders. I took my grandson over there. He had a blast. And it was another one of these things that we were talking about. I think Coach Black was bringing it up where at the young kids and the high school kids, young kids get to see their stars, right? That they want to get them to come play baseball at the high school. You want to get to that level, see that coach. And it was such an interaction with the kids, the little ones and the older ones. I think everybody had a good time. Even those high school kids that got up early. Well, I guess went too much, but it was lovely. The birthday event was awesome. Came to the birthday event, brought the grandkids there to that. Also, a great event for them. They had a class there also. Got to see did some coloring. They got to play games with the people. I mean, it really was, it was a family event. That's what we needed to. We needed an event where we could bring families together. I thought that was very well done. And thank you very much to everybody involved in that. They did a great job of organizing that. You're talking about signs, and it took me a little while, but I got signs on Alta Vista. Those are good. But we could use some, we probably need a program to go through the city on street signs. Because if you don't know what street you're on, sometimes you'll never figure it out. So we have street signs that just are faded, like we're talking about some of the other directional or dead end signs too. but somehow we need to know our inventory of signage so that we can go back through and have some kind of a way to go through and replace those. I don't know who pays for that, if we actually have to pay for them, or does the county still have that program where they make certain signs? Okay. Oh, we'll find a way to get something. We'll get something. The Tractor Supply, the question about Tractor Supply is stormwater. So we had a pretty big rainstorm the past couple of days, and after so many inches of rain, you have to go back and inspect clean out your silt fences. There's a lot of silt fences out there, and I just wonder how that we don't have anybody that's doing that. Is that correct? Because the county doesn't do it anymore. We don't have anybody that does it anymore. Are they on their own? You have to do that, Adam? I'm sorry. So, you're certified?
Yes, I have certification.
Oh, so, yeah, your NIL just went up again. So, we'll get that later. Sorry, Coach Black. Yeah. So, those silt fences, there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of dirt that they're putting up over there, and there's a lot of water that came down the past couple of days. So, just wondering how they maintain. It's their responsibility to maintain it, but it's our responsibility to make sure they're doing it. So, just wanted to bring that up on the Tractor Supply. There's a lot of dirt.
So,
Sure, go ahead.
So that site should be mandated by DX, it should have DX permit. I don't have any authority on DX site. I can only just inspect and give them a courtesy heads up. Anything over and later is DX. Anything a half acre or less, then I can have authority over.
Okay. All right. Maybe just take you get a chance, since I know that you now have license. So, appreciate it. And Waffle Fest. I'm so excited about this Waffle Fest. I had my thing in the water bill. It actually made me happy to see the water bill because it had that Waffle Fest flyer in there. So I'm excited to see that, and everybody make sure you come out. I'll be at the city booth area from 3:30 to 5. So come visit me 3:30 to 5.
Did you get all the spots built or not?
Thank you.
You need to worry about it. But I'm feeling
That's what I did too. I said, wherever you need to drop me.
I'll send it out this week when everyone's starts.
All right, Councilwoman at Large, on the way.
I just wanted to reiterate the birthday party, which was fun. I saw a lot of people I know, a lot of people I didn't know. And thanks to Duncan Burns for the sign at the dugout park. And I was fortunate to be one of them there for the unveiling of it, and it looks really nice. So if you haven't seen it, drive by Woodside Circle and take a look. And that's all I got.
Thank you, everybody, for some really good council remarks this time. I know you guys have put a lot of work into each of your wards and just making sure that everything looks nice across the city and doing some business reach out and stuff like that, so I really appreciate it. For the mayor's announcements, the last month, as you can tell from all the council remarks, has been incredibly busy. Outside of everything else that you have already heard, which I've been involved in at various points, I also had the privilege of joining the Liberty Schools during their principals meeting this last month. That has been one of the things that I have felt very strongly about over the last couple of years, is that we need to work more with the school system. They are literally our future, and so I think that we need to be more involved with them as a city. So I was able to join their principals meeting. They do a monthly principals meeting, and we decided that I will join that quarterly. Monthly is just a lot of meetings. So I'm going to join that quarterly, and we'll talk about how the city and the schools can work better together. I also had the opportunity to join the Interact Club for one of their meetings and answer some questions about what steps that it took me to get here. The city was also approached in the last month about a possible purchase of the Performing Arts Center. Council and I are discussing next steps as we do a walkthrough of the facility on the 20th to see if this would be a good move for us. Honestly, we are going to have to go kind of top to bottom on that just to make sure that it's a good investment for the city, as we do have multiple things that we are currently taking care of, and we need to make sure that it's one more thing that we could do. So we'll do a lot of discussion on that. To date, we do not have a dollar amount in mind, as we were told by the county to basically make an offer. I have been asked that question like 20 times. Do you know what the number is? No, I don't. We will do our due diligence as a council and mayor to make a decision based on data if this is a good move for Liberty. In February, we also brought on board Gina in City Hall to help with accounts payable. I handled accounts payable for about a month, just so I could see, kind of assess how many hours we actually needed for that position. We only needed about 10 hours a week, so she has come in as a temp to go ahead and cover those 10 hours a week. She has been a wonderful fit for our little administrative team in City Hall and fit right in with everyone. We also unveiled the new sign at Dugout Park with funds donated graciously by King's Asphalt and designed by Duncan Burns. Stepping into March this past week, we celebrated Liberty's big 150th anniversary. This weekend, we had a beautiful birthday party with help from Flat Rock Church and many members of the city and staff. Each of the churches in Liberty has reached out since I've become mayor and asked how they could get more involved. So we're trying to get each church involved with a different event and just kind of let them all help out in different ways. So the big birthday party was Flat Rock. Potter's Clay will be helping out with Waffle Fest. And at the end of April, Eastside is going to help with the replanting of Sarlin Park. So kind of distributing everything through the churches. Roadhouse Rodeo Band plays some phenomenal tunes while citizens enjoyed sweet treats from Pendleton Candy Company. And then we ended up taking the rest of what was left over to the police station. And I'm sorry, Vic, I'm sure they were all offering my sweet treats. We rounded out the event with a couple of food trucks and outdoor games, and from what I've heard, everyone had a great time. Next up is the Waffle Fest on the end of March. We hope to see you all there. It's going to be even bigger than last year's. Here, correct me if I'm wrong, 80 vendors? 78 vendors, so it is going to be busy. There are a lot of things in the works for Liberty. I have conversations with people all the time about new business ventures, ideas that they have, some of you guys, different things we want to do in Liberty over the next couple of months. So definitely keep your eyes and ears open for more stuff coming. And that is it for me. We'll go ahead and adjourn. It is,
I was going to mention,
yes.
Don't forget, if you haven't found your second event about cancer, still to do March 30th by noon, which is a weird time. March 30th, not March 31st. If you haven't closed out your candidate accounts, you need to take care of that. And if you have any questions about it, just call the commission and ask to make certain if you have any doubts about whether you dot your I's, cross your T's. Because they will find you.
They will. Oh, they will.